So we are going to look at dashboard creation. We're going to look at what dashboard is today and what it means to a data analyst and to shareholders. So today we are going to understand what dashboards are, differentiate dashboards from reports, learn why dashboards matter, explore the principles of effective dashboards, understand dashboard components, and prepare to build interactive dashboards in Excel. That will be the last one where we're going to learn how to build in an interactive dashboard in Excel. So what is dashboard? Dashboard is a visual display of the most important information needed to achieve one or more objectives. So it just means consolidated and arranged on a single screen so that it can be monitored at a glance. The long and short of it, it just means that you get the most important charts. Remember, you get your data, you clean your data, you analyze your data with pivots, okay? Then after answering a lot of questions, you will now select those questions that you know that are the most important questions. Things like total revenue, total cost, profits, profit margin, those very important ones. You put them, you arrange them, you put them in a visual and arrange them in a place, in a single screen. That's just what dashboard is. Okay. You just do visuals of the most important questions and arrange them in a screen. There's nothing again. If you look at this monitor that is on the presentation, you see this is a visualization, this is a visualization, this is a visualization, this is a visualization, this is also a visualization. So for this company, for this business, these are the business insights. These are the most important questions. Does not mean that the whole analysis is limited to the dashboard, though. Okay, the dashboard is just showing the stakeholders like the things that that they want to know at a glance, like questions that that they want answered at any time, things that metrics you want to track at all single time. Okay, so that is just the essence of dashboard. Like I told you, there's really no big deal to it. Okay, so the same thing: raw data, analyze, pivots, dashboards, and decision making. Then choosing the right tool for the audience. What's the difference between dashboard and report? Dashboard is interactive. Remember in the last class, I showed you what it means for a visualization to be interactive. Visualization being interactive is something you can slice through. When you click on the slicer, it adjusts. You click on the slicer, it adjusts. But reports are usually static. So there is no interaction in reports. Reports are just plain flat charts or plain flat visuals. There's no form of interaction. High level view, detailed view. Okay, dashboard focuses on high level view, while report is focused on detailed view. Dashboard focuses on KPIs. Okay, what is KPIs? Key performance indicators. Key performance indicators are those measurable indicators that you can track for a business. Example, total revenue is a key performance indicator for a business. For a hospital, another thing that you can define as your key performance indicator is total number of visits. Okay, that is a key performance indicator. So different businesses have different KPIs depending on what you define it as a business owner. Okay, so designed for monitoring. Dashboard is designed for monitoring, while report is designed for documentation. Dashboard is designed so that at any point, you can just come and see where we are at any point. Okay, let's just say you don't need to come and start calling the data analyst saying, oh, how much did you make in June? How much did you make in July? You can just go to the dashboard and immediately you see how much that was made in June, how much it was made in July. It's used for monitoring. You can use it to do target versus achieved. Okay, let's say you have a target, maybe at the beginning of the quarter, we said as a business, we are going to make 200 million. Okay, so on the dashboard, the analyst is going to put it there. So when we make 50 million, it's going to be there, 25% achieved. When we make 100 million, it will be there, 50% achieved. So dashboard is designed for monitoring, while report is designed for documentation. You've just written you've documented it. Okay, this is where we are as at now. Okay, so report is just purely for documentation. It's not bothered about monitoring what is going on. That is where dashboard comes in. Dashboard is used for monitoring. Dashboard is usually one page. Usually, the goal of dashboard is to put everything in one page so that you see what you want to see in one page. You don't need to go to another place for you to see what you want to see. While reports are in multiple pages. So dashboard is used for decision support. Dashboard is used for decision support. Remember, I told you that it's for monitoring. So there's how you could come. Maybe our target is 200 million. And let's say for the first quarter, which is January, February, March. And as at March, third week of March, we are still at 50 million. Please mute yourself. You come to the dashboard. Let's say as a company, we have a target of 200 million. And by third week of March, you are still seeing that we've only made 50 million. Okay? Immediately, because you can see it on the dashboard, you can now begin to make decisions based on, okay, where are we not performing well? Which team is not performing well? Things like that. So the monitoring helps you make what? Decision. Why report is usually used for information sharing. Just want to let people know that, okay, this is where we are. Just like when banks release their reports, end of year reports, end of quarter reports, end of biannual reports, mid-year reports, all those reports is just to tell you what is going on. They're not really telling you for you to give them, they're not really telling you for you to come and tell them do like this or don't do like this. Okay, they're just showing you the report. This is the amount of money we've made from October to March, they're just giving you the information. But dashboard is usually a tool, is usually in-house. Most times dashboards is what in-house because it aids in decision making. While report most times is giving what it can be, it can be outside for other consumers to see, for the public eyes. Okay. Now, driving strategic value through visualization. Visualization helps faster decision making, performance visibility. So performance visibility in the sense that you can easily see your KPIs, okay, trend identification, accountability, better communication, problem detection. Dashboards help you, visualization help you to detect problems immediately because since you process things with your eyes 60,000 times faster, it is easier for you to spot a problem when everything is on the dashboard than when it's just in numbers. A dashboard is not just a tool for seeing data. It is a catalyst for organizational alignment and rapid action. So it's not just a tool for seeing data. It is something, it is a tool for an organization to use to monitor and align and realign their processes, their SOPs. Okay? It's from there you will be able to know, oh, is this thing working? Is it not working? In real time. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. Most dashboards are updating by the minute, by the hour. Okay? So by the minute or by the hour, you are knowing what is happening. You don't need to wait till the end of the day report for you to see, oh, that we made 5 naira or 10 naira. In the middle of the day, due to the report that is due to the dashboard that is showing live, okay, that is feeding from the different places in the company or from the different locations in the company, you can easily see that, oh, this place, they are not performing well. I don't have to wait till the end of the quarter. I can immediately from the third week of the quarter, because of the dashboard that is monitoring what is happening, I can immediately know that, okay, we need to change strategy here. We need to change strategy here. But if it is report will have to wait for the period. Like if I want to give a 3-month report, I will have to wait for that 3 months to expire. So if I'm giving that report at the end of the third month, the report is not really going to help me to take on the spot data-driven decisions. Okay. Now, accountability. Transparent tracking ensures teams remain responsible for their specific goals and targets. Better communication. Shared visual evidence simplifies complex results for stakeholders at all levels. Once it's visual, stakeholders can easily understand, what you're trying to tell them. Problem detection, we've talked about that. Now, design standards for impactful data visualization. For your dashboard, your dashboard should be simple, okay? Avoid clutter and remove non-essential elements to focus on what matters. Please ensure that you are not just loading. I see some dashboard, I'm seeing 10, 15 charts. Is not really necessary, okay? Limit your dashboard to very minimal charts. In short, your dashboard should be more KPI focused than it is chart focused. Did you hear me? Your dashboard should be more KPI focused because at the end of the day, it is those KPIs that bring money to the business. It is the total revenue, total profit, total sales, total loss made. How many, if it's a hospital, how many people have died? How many people did we treat? How many people have done did we do operations on? These are the important things that you really want to track. Okay, so you don't just go and bombard things that are not really necessary just because you want to make your dashboard beautiful. I'll be looking out for things like this in the tasks that will be given. Please sit down and ensure that you are picking out the right charts that answer right serious business questions that needs to be tracked on a daily basis. Okay, it should be relevant. Okay, include only useful metrics that align with the specific needs of the audience. Okay, clarity. Use understandable visuals that allow for instant decoding of complex data. You don't go and use waterfall when you know that your audience will not understand waterfall. Okay, use simple visuals that layman. Remember the last time I told you that your visualization should not need anybody to come and explain it to them. The moment you need to really explain your visualization to people, they cannot see it at a first glance. The moment your audience needs you to explain it to them, you are not doing it well. Okay, so you know the audience you are doing the dashboard for, and you keep it simple, you keep it clear. Don't come and start doing interconnecting dashboards, combining charts when you know that, okay, imagine when I'm doing presentation to people in the village. I'm trying to show presentation to people in the village, to my mothers in the village and the rest, and I'm not showing them waterfall analysis. Who they'll look, they're definitely not going to understand. Consistency. Maintain uniform formatting, color schemes, and font across all views. Your dashboard should have consistent colors. It should have consistent formatting. Accuracy. Ensure calculations are correct and data sources are reliable and up to date. Accuracy. Make sure that your data is correct. In the last assignment I gave, someone did an abridged data. We had about 1,000 rows, but the person cleaned just 100 rows. Things like this are costly because of how you've shortened that data. Any analysis you do on that data is definitely going to be wrong. No matter the kind of formula you use, no matter the kind of pivot chart you use, no matter the kind of visualization you use, you are not going to get an accurate result. So please pay attention to details and ensure that you are giving us the correct metrics and the correct answers to the questions that we're answering. Actionability. Highlight information that supports decision and drives tangible business outcomes. Highlight information that supports decisions and drives tangible business outcomes. Though if you know that there's a red flag there, make sure that it is red. Okay, let's say there's a loss. Show losses in red if you can. If it's not going to alter your color, show losses in red so that once someone comes in and he sees loss and he sees that the loss is so large, immediately put it in red. Okay, if you have a target of 100%, and by the third month of that quarter you've not met 20%, that money should be in red. So that once someone comes, the person can see that, oh, the first question the person asks is, why is this in red? And the answers can be made. So that once someone is looking at it, the person already knows. The person, you don't even need to say any explanation. Know that, oh, this is a loss. This company is making a loss. It's making a heavy loss. And this hot loss should be in red to highlight it. And for action should be taken. So, anatomy of an effective dashboard. The dashboard must have KPI charts. Okay, remember I said that your dashboard should be more KPI focused. So it should have high level snapshots of critical metrics with revenue or growth. It should have high level snapshots. Your KPIs have to be there. I've told you what KPIs are. Your charts should be visual trends, like your line chart, your bar chart, your pie chart for rapid pattern recognition. Pivot table, multi-dimensional data summaries for deep dive analysis. Some analysis needs to be put in pivot table. So if you see, if there's any analysis that you know that you need to leave in as a table, please leave it as a table. Okay, everything must not be a chart. Some have to remain as a table, and that is fine. Okay, just know that let it answer a core question that the business wants to answer. Slicers and filters, interactive. Okay. So when I say interactive, that's the slicers and the filters. So your dashboard should have slicers and filters to enable interactivity so that someone can easily drill down to what he wants to do. He can go to as granular as possible. Okay. Titles and labels. essential context to ensure data is correctly understood. Make sure that you label everything as they should. Anywhere that legend should be, let legend be there. Anywhere that legend should not be, let legend not be there. Okay? Make sure you title all your charts so that once someone is looking at the chart, the person knows what the chart is talking about. Because if you don't put a chart without titling it, the chart can mean anything. So you need to be able to give context to whoever is looking at your charts. Okay? Supporting metrics. Secondary data providing depth for primary KPIs. Okay? Now, how to build a dashboard? Number one is define the audience. Okay? The audience is going to determine the kind of data, the kind of dashboard you want to use. So the audience will determine your color, your audience will determine the kind of charts you're using, your audience will determine a whole lot of things. So that is why it is important for you to define your audience. Because if I want to do dashboard and I know that I'm going to a place where red is not a good color, maybe I'm going to do an analysis for people who see red as a taboo. I know that I immediately cannot put red in that my dashboard. I don't know if that is making sense. If I'm doing an has grades of green. Can I be heard? Are we together? Oloyuwomi Lawal.
Yes.
You raise your hand.
Yes.
Yes,
all right.
we are together.
Okay. Oloyomi, you have a question? Okay. You dropped your hand. So,
sir,
define the. Okay.
What
right.
do you, sir? What do you mean by when some people see red as an abomination?
Okay. I'm just saying it in the sense that you should know your audience. Okay. If you know that this particular color I'm going to use here will be frowned upon by my audience, it's best not to add it into your dashboard. I don't know if that's making sense. Okay, let me say, for example, now I'm going to do. I want to do a dashboard for a Chelsea fan. I cannot be using red. Maybe I want to do dashboard to Chelsea board, and I make the theme of that my dashboard to be red in color. They'll throw you out. Does it make sense? Or I want to do a dashboard. I want to do a visualization for the board of Manchester United, and I have a lot of blues in my visualization. Is insensitive.
Sir,
Hello? Lawal, are you with me?
I understand. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Vera, your answer is.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Okay, so to add to the point you just made, I think it's also what researching the context you are working for, like you said, because red might mean something in where you are, but might mean different thing elsewhere, right? So
Definitely.
you might think you are trying to show them a loss or something negative, but then to them, it's just an example. It might sound weird, but it's just what researching the content you're working on and the colors and their meanings. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, very good, very, very good. So your audience determines it at the end of the day, because it is your audience that will determine the kind of chart you use, the kind of color you use, the kind of formatting you use. Okay, so if I'm doing analysis for my fellow data analysts, I can afford to use complex charts, and I can afford to make it look very, very complex, because I'm sure they will understand what I'm talking about. But if I'm doing it to laymen, people who I know that they may not necessarily understand this thing, I just make my visualization as basic as possible so that the blind can see and the deaf can hear. Okay. Now, identify business questions. That is another very important part of your dashboard building. What is important to this business? What is it that my manager wants to see? If I'm doing a dashboard for the shareholders or for the boardrooms, what is that question that the boardroom wants to have answered at the spot? Okay, what do they really want to know? Example, I cannot be doing dashboard for, let's say, for at a very high level, let's say Coca-Cola now. Coca-Cola is all over the state and all that. And now I'm not showing them the distribution of how Coca-Cola is being bought in Oyo State, and I put it there in my dashboard. Okay, that is not what the CEO of Coca-Cola wants to see at that point, because that is too granular for him. Okay, I need to drill it. I need to drill it up. What he may want to see is, how is Coca-Cola performing across continents, across countries? Okay, I think that's the level. That's the lowest level he may want to go. The CEO of Coca-Cola does not want to know how Coca-Cola is performing in Ogun State. He doesn't want to know how Coca-Cola is performing in Akwa Ibom. Now, the person that may want to know how Coca-Cola is performing in Akwa Ibom may be the head of Coca-Cola Nigeria. That may not be the person that wants, you may not give a drill down of how it is performing in Abuja or in Lagos or in Kaduna. Okay, so you should know your audience and identify the business question. So these two work hand in hand. So the question you're answering, okay, should also be tied to the audience. So you should know who it is you are giving. Prepare and clean the data. Okay, you already know that. Perform your analysis. You already know that. Create pivot tables. You already know that. Build your charts and KPIs. We've talked on that. Add interactivity using slicers. We've learned it. Test and refine. So the core thing here that we should pick here is what? Define the audience and identify the business question. You need to sit down and identify your business question. Another thing I want to do is, before you start doing your analysis, sketch your dashboard. Okay, have a visual sketch of how you want your dashboard to be before you start doing anything. Sometimes you can just sketch it on a paper. Sometimes you can go to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to give you a sketch of a dashboard, okay, for a healthcare or for this or for that, telling him how many KPIs you want to put in and all that. But before, the sketch will be determined by the questions you are answering. So if your dashboard, you want to show like 5 KPIs, okay, if you're going to show as much as 5 KPIs, it's going to have a different sketch. If I'm showing just 3 KPIs, it's also going to have a different sketch, because I will have to, create space to adjust everything. And remember that everything has to align. So this is another place where people who are good with design is also going to be a plus for them. People who are good with colors and people who are good with design, because you'll be able to blend that in. But that should not give backseat to understanding the question and knowing how to analyze. Okay, so if you already know how to prepare data, perform analysis, create pivots down to this 8, okay, the thing you should focus on is define the audience and identify business questions. So this one that people are going to be showing to on LinkedIn, you are going to make it in a way that people in LinkedIn, you take them as what? Laymen. They are not technical people. So you are going to give them dashboard that is easy, that anybody can pick and spot and understand what you are talking about. Okay. Now, is there any question before we go into the hands-on? Any question? Someone should ask a question, please. So we all understand, right? If you don't have a question, give me a thumbs up. Okay, Chidera understands. Favor understands. Who else? Happiness. Okay, Lawa, please go ahead. Thank you.
So I have a problem with the last step.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Come in. Say that again, Lawa.
The last step, this I don't understand.
Okay, test and refine is once you are done adding everything, you need to check and make sure that all your slicers are properly connected. You need to test it and make sure that there is no problem. The slicers are slicing well, the filters are filtering well, it's as interactive as you want it to be. The numbers are actually what they are. You cross-check with your pivot table, so that you make sure that you're not putting in a wrong number. It's just more or less like cross-checking. Okay, test it, you refine it. If there's any improvement, you improve on it. You get and you know that things that are visual, things that are for people to see, you don't stop in research or in technology. There is no there's no bus stop to innovation. Okay, so the refining is from time to time you check. Oh, okay, I think this color will be fine. I think this color will be better, and stuff like that. So that's the refining. So you could finish presenting, and your board adopts the dashboard, but you will not now say, okay, since this is they've adopted it, you now leave it like that. So from time to time you can be tweaking it. Maybe at this point this KPI was important, but at this point now this KPI is no longer important. Let's say for example now, if I've done my dashboard finish, and we are having an auditor that is coming, okay? And we know that there is a particular KPI that auditor will be concerned about, and that particular KPI is not on the dashboard. I will now know that, okay, this is a refining part now. Oh, I know that I need to remove this particular KPI. This KPI is not important. Let me bring in this particular KPI into this dashboard. Okay, so that's the refining part of it, changing it, altering it as it goes, removing what you need to remove, knowing what works and what does not work. Does that make sense, Lawa?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Thank you very much. So who else has a question? All right. I don't know why this thing doesn't always escape. So we are done here. So can my Excel be seen?
Yes, sir. We can see.
You can see my Excel.
Yes, we can.
All right. So,
Yes, sir. We can see.
all right. So let's just delete all this thing. Let's start afresh. This one should also go. All right. So let's name this properly. Is Kingsley in this class? Still not here. All right, no problem. Let's just continue. We'll talk about that later. So now it's still at that our hospital data. Now we want to put it into a dashboard. Okay. So what is the first step? We've cleaned it. We've done everything we are supposed to do. Is now to analyze. So aside the analysis, what do we put in mind as we want to start this our dashboard? What do we have in mind? We need to know our audience,
Okay.
and we need to define the business questions, right? We need to define what we really want to show in our dashboard. So someone who has pen and paper, write them down. What and what do we want to show? Because it's the things we want to show, those are the things we are going to do pivot table for. Okay, so just go straight to the point. So let's say this is our business now, and we are showing it to the stakeholders. What are the core things we want the stakeholders to see at a glance? All right, let's go. So these things now are the KPIs. What are the KPIs? What are the core KPIs? Let me show you. Let me tell you example number one. So you will tell me the rest. First one is the board will want to know, or the owner or the CEO will want to know the total bill. Why is this not formatted? So the board will want to know the total bill. Let's just leave it in pounds. All right. So don't waste time. So the board will want to know the total bill. What else will the board want to know? Or the CEO want to know? We are presenting this to the CEO/board. So this is the core of it. Doing the dashboard itself is not hard. Okay, in minutes you'll be done. But knowing what you are presenting and presenting something that makes sense is actually the crux of the whole thing. Okay, so we are going to be working with pounds just because I don't want us to. Yes, I can't hear you guys. Someone should write it down now. What are the questions we need to answer? First one is the total revenue.
Total patient inflow.
Total patient inflow, like that's total visitation, right?
Yes.
Total visitation, beautiful. Okay, what else?
The facility with the highest number of visits.
Okay, facility with the highest. Okay, no, that one is when we are not breaking it down. That's not it. Now, KPIs, okay, when you hear KPIs are aggregated, okay? You don't break it down. By the time you say facility with the highest number of visits, you are now splitting into the total visits, which is already a KPI. I don't know, does that make sense, Ezekiel?
Yes, it does.
Hello?
KPI
Good.
general value.
Yes. So you can know the facility with the highest number of visits by the time you open up the total visits by facility. That is when we see it. So KPIs, we are not opening up anything. We're just having a pure aggregated volume. Okay. So the first one is what? Total revenue, right? The second one is what? Total what again?
Total visits.
Total
Patient inflow.
Patient inflow.
Okay. So what else? That is something I want to know if I'm the CEO. What else would I want to know? I want us to have 5 KPIs. All right, let's go.
Patient satisfaction.
Patient satisfaction. Okay, we want to see, what we want to see? Is it this total satisfaction or what?
Yes, the highest, most hospitals that got the highest satisfaction, patient satisfaction.
This is where you're missing it now. By the time
Average.
you start saying the highest hospital that has, you have now opened up patient satisfaction. So that is no longer a KPI. Okay, that is not a chart. The
Average
KPI is just a
satisfaction.
number.
The
Good.
patient
Average
satisfaction rate.
Yes, average patient satisfaction rate. You cannot want to look at the total patient satisfaction rate. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Oh, network. Oh, network. Sorry, Lawa, you were saying something.
Average outcome of patients.
Average what?
Outcome of patients.
Right. Network.
He said outcome,
Normally,
average outcome, average patient outcome. That's what he's trying to say.
average patient outcome. Is there any column like patient outcome, not to talk of the average?
Yes,
Okay,
we
this
have
is outcome. Outcome is recovered. No, this is not a KPI. Okay, KPIs are measurable. KPIs are in numbers. Like it is number. Okay, make no mistake about it. When you are talking about KPIs, it should be something in number. You can be saying total number of doctors. How many doctors do we have? How many facilities do we have? Okay, these are KPIs. Okay, what is the average rating? How many diseases?
Hello, sir.
How many diseases have we treated here? You get, like, KPIs are measurable. It's not something that you answer, like it's not a question that has a text answer. Like who is the doctor, who is the best performing doctor? Okay, it's not a KPI. When you're not talking of best performing doctor, you're not looking at what are you using to check that best performing doctor? Average age of our patients, that is a KPI. Maybe if it's a business that is trying to maybe we are targeting we want to target more youths, and we don't want to target, maybe if we looked at our business and we are seeing that, oh, people that used to come to our businesses are mostly old people. Now, as a business, we now want to make sure that we target more youths and make sure that more youths come to the business. Now, at that point, average age now becomes a KPI, right? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So how many do we have now? Who was writing it down? Treatment types. No, treatment types. Okay, total number of treatments. Okay, number of OPD patients and number of emergencies brought to the clinic. Okay, okay, that could work. That could work. Okay, but are these the things that a business? Okay, yes. If I own a hospital, I want to know how many people are OPD, and but I can see that whenever I disaggregate it, you get that one can be answered when I disaggregate. Augustina, you have your hands are raised.
Yes, sir. I wanted to say number of facilities registered.
Number of
Health
facilities.
facilities. Yes.
Number of facilities.
Because
So, okay.
because I'm seeing that these facilities are actually registered under a particular HMO. So number of facilities you are assessing.
All right. All right. That makes sense. So, who has written all these things and how many do we have now? Who was writing it down?
Okay,
Nobody
so
was writing it down.
I wrote total revenue,
All right.
total patients visits or
Visits.
inflow,
Okay. 2. Okay.
then average age of patients.
Average age of patient. Do we really need it here? I was just telling you the reason why
Oh,
we
okay.
would have needed it. But don't worry, still write it. If there's time, we could just add it to
And
this.
total
Yes.
number
Okay.
of doctors.
Total number of doctors. Yeah, this is important because I
So
want to know how many staff I have. Okay. How many doctors I have.
I was
Okay.
thinking again, could we have anything around the insurance status too? How many how many of their patients are insured?
If we want to answer that question now, we
Mm.
would. It's not going to be a KPI. We'll just have a
Okay.
chart for it. Does that make sense? So that
Yes.
one now is not a KPI. We are defining the KPIs first now. Okay. When we finish defining the KPIs, we now start defining the charts that we want to have. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So
Another
average
one,
insurance. Vera,
There's
what do you mean
another
by average insurance?
Just trying to make out never mind, sir. It's nothing.
I mind though. I mind very well. So, Fumilola also writes average patient satisfaction because I want to know the patients that are coming, are they satisfied with my hospital? Average patient satisfaction rate. Yes, beautiful, Augustina, that's it. So at least these are the core questions, these are the core KPIs that I want for. See, please, KPI definition is very, very important for every business.
Sorry, sir, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sir, when you talk of total bill, is it both the inflow and outflow of the income?
Total income is just the inflow, total money brought in. That is just the only thing that this table records. So this particular table is not
Sir,
showing the expenses of the company. So if we had that, then maybe we would have, captured it. Does that make sense?
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. 'Cause I wanted saying that doing analysis of such like this would have included
Yes,
the expenses.
yes,
Not on.
yes. That is not out of question because it's inflow, outflow, plus or minus, you get your profit, and all that. So it's not out of place. But you would also only do based on what the data you have. You're limited to the data you have. You get, so if your data is not showing you the outflow, okay, like the drugs bought, the money used for paying rent, staff payment, all those other outflows. If it's not showing you, you cannot do it now, can you? You can't. So except you have a data that is showing you that, then beautiful. I mean, what else are we looking at? So you solve it.
So can we have anything around facility? If you
Yes,
are
we've
looking
already
at
said total number of facilities now, right?
facilities, okay, I'll write that now.
All right. So Vera, please explain use your recovery rate for us, Biko. And this time around, I mind.
Yes, sir. What came to mind is so under the outcome column, we have so we want to find out how many patients who visits the facilities are recovered. So we just want to know the rate of recovery, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, can we get that? Let's go to outcome. Let's go to, okay. We have recovered, we have improved. Okay. So you can do, yes, you can do something like this. You could do recovered over the total, right?
Yes, sir. We
You
just
could
want to
do,
know the number of patients who are recovered, or
yes.
basically want to calculate the recovery rate. I don't
Yeah,
yeah.
I get you.
To know
I get
what
you
we
very, very well. I get you very, very well. I get you very, 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 very well. So this recovery rates, how would you calculate it?
um I've actually not thought about it, but from the top of my head,
Mm.
maybe maybe we can just find an I've not really thought about it, but probably
So,
we'll just find an average or something. Yeah, Augustina
yes.
wants to say something.
Okay, Gosina, go ahead.
Yes, so I think we can get that by getting the percentage of people that are actually recovered. Like when
Yes.
we have 1,320, so we filter recovered, get the
Yeah.
total, then take a percentage of the total visits.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly how to do it. So you could just write you do a few. In short, I want to see that in this part. Hey, it's not this data set to try. Don't worry. But if you can do it and show it to me, please go ahead. I want you to I want people to think it out. Use formulas. Use formulas to do it. Okay. So the whole idea here, let me give people the idea. Then I want people to use formula and solve it for me. The class, I want us to round up this class early. If not, I would have paid people to think this out here. So the idea here now is you want to count the recovered. Okay. This thing is not properly clean because this recovered and this recovered are supposed to be the same thing. Okay. So the idea here now is you want to count this recovered. Let's just clean it at once. All right. Uh-huh. So the idea here now is you want to count this recovered, okay? Count the number of people here that are count if, use count if and count if recovered over down, you now count the total of the whole total visits, okay? Then times it by 100. That will give you the recovery rate. Does that make sense? I want to see
Come
that
again, sir,
calculation.
please.
No, sir, please again.
You are going to use count if to count how many people that are recovered, okay? Use count if to count how many people that are recovered over divided by the count of the total visits, right? Count of people that are recovered divided by count of total visits. That should give you what? Times 100 over 1 or times 100. That should give you the recovery rates. Is in percentage.
Sir?
Yep.
Uh, Another idea.
Okay.
I stand to be corrected.
Sure, go
Is
ahead.
it possible for us to also use a pivot table? Get the
Okay.
total for each of them, then maybe probably in another column, present
Hmm.
it as percentage of the grand
Percentage
total.
of total. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's a way shorter way of doing it. But I just wanted them to do the what is it called? I wanted them to do the formula. Let me see if they could interpret an idea into formula. So that was why I gave the idea of it. And I wanted them to, I wanted you guys, what am I saying then? I wanted you all to, bring out this idea out and do it with a with functions. But pivot table is a much more easier way to do it. So I think we've said a lot here. Let's just dive right into it. So now that we've known that, so what are the things we now want to what are the things we now want to disaggregate? Let us ask those questions now. First thing I want us to disaggregate, me now, I want to see the facility that is bringing us more money. So we are going to have a chart. This is our pivot. This is our dashboard. We want it to just have 4 charts. Okay, just 4 charts. One is going to be a line graph. So I want to see the trend of income, the trend of revenue by months. I want to see the trend of revenue by month. So that will be the first chart that will be there. So people should tell us the second, third, and fourth charts. What is the second one you want? If you are the owner of this insurance or the owner of this business or whatever it is, what is the second thing you want to see? What is the second disaggregate thing you want us to do? Okay, Ezekiel, go ahead, please.
I'd like to see the facility that has the highest number of visits to at least check it up. Yes, to at least check it up with the facility that has the highest number of revenue, in case they are the same or different.
Oh, okay. You want to compare,
Yes, compare.
if revenue and visits are speaking the same thing. If there's a relationship between revenue and visits, sure, that
Yes,
is
sir.
exactly what you just want to say. Okay, beautiful. Okay, that is one. Okay. You are comparing it by facility, right? So we are
Yes, sir.
comparing. Fumilola, you're writing, Abi. So what is the third one we want to see? Another person, what is the third thing you want to see here? What is the third question you want to answer here by breaking out? Won't you want to see the best? Okay, I'm not the one asking. Someone, we have a lot of questions we
The
can answer
best
here. Please.
performing health facility.
I think I was lost too.
You say what?
I've not
The
written
best
what's the
performing
best.
facility.
Okay, these are the breakdown question I want to ask. We want to see the revenue trend by months. Okay, that is one. Second, we want to compare visits and revenue. We want to see if they are, if there's any relationship between them. Number 3, we will now want to see, what else do we want to see? What did you just say? Who was the last person?
Best
Yes,
performing
best
facility.
performing facility by what? What are you using to check?
By revenue.
By revenue. Okay, best performing facility by revenue. Okay, so what's the last one? Maybe we should just have just 2 charts.
So must this really be by revenue in everything, in all the analysis already?
No. It's not a must. It has to be by revenue. So that is where this thing comes in.
So can we check? Can we track the best performing doctor by diagnosis?
How do we answer that? You can only say we track the best performing doctor by visits. You cannot track the best performing doctor by diagnosis.
Sir?
Yeah?
Sorry. You can track the best performing doctor by outcome.
By
Recovered,
outcome.
improved, or referred. Yes.
Okay. You want us to have a whole lot of bivariate analysis here. I want us to stick to univariate analysis. Just one. We already have one that is comparing what is it called?
Visits and
That's
revenue.
comparing visits by revenue. So let's just stick to one univariate analysis, okay?
Okay.
So let's stick to univariate analysis. Remember, this thing is going out, so, and the video, I don't want people to spend more than 3 to 5 minutes in those videos, okay?
Okay, sir.
So just straight questions. Straight questions. You can want to see the treatment type. There are a lot of questions you may want to answer here.
Diagnosis?
I want to say one.
Okay, what's that? Who is that?
So that's this family. The highest recurring diagnosis and which gender is susceptible to it.
This is another universe. This is another bivariate. If are doing, but I like the thinking. Anyways, I love the thinking. God in heaven knows, I love the thinking. That is how you think as a data analyst. Okay, when you are doing your core analysis, these are the things you want to look at. You want to compare. You just do not want to do one univariate analysis and run by it. See the way you ask the question, the highest diagnosis, and by the gender. So you want to see the gender that is most affected by a diagnosis, which is beautiful. Which is beautiful. Okay. Which in short, if you can put it in an analysis in a dashboard, is actually very. Anyway, let's roll with it first. Let's see. Highest diagnosis. Okay. So we could just go with highest diagnosis because we want to stick with univariate. But while we are doing the what is it called? The pivots, we just answer some of these questions, even though not all of them, even though some of them or most of them is not going to show up on our dashboard. Okay. So any other question? All right, beautiful. So what do we now do? We go over to. So it is important you understand this thing before you start your dashboard creation. Okay. Now, um, it isn't okay. Let's just roll on first. So let's insert the pivot table. Okay. So the first question I want to answer is what? What was the first question we want? Total revenue,
Total
right?
revenue,
Lola,
yes.
you left us.
Total revenue, sir.
What is it called here?
That's total
bill.
bill.
All right.
Those yellow lines above, you can click on the X so that you have a lot of space in there.
All right. All right. So on this. So and just call this total revenue.
He says, come.
Please mute yourself, Augustina. Okay.
Sir, it's like under the total bill on the data set, we still have minus there.
Yes. Yes. There's a lot of minus. So like I said,
Can we is it possible to get you the clean data? Probably.
properly clean data. All right. Can you send it over now?
Yes, let me do that right now to the chat.
All right. Where are you sending it to?
To the Zoom chat.
Okay. Go ahead. All right.
All right.
Nobody sabi hype. Oh, that's why she start speaking to me. Nobody hypes their team lead like Vera. Vera, are you a hype woman? Vera.
Yes.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Network. This is less than an MB now. Why are you wasting time to download?
Now he has dropped it, oh.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm downloading it.
Oh, okay. And your network is very slow.
Very slow. Very
Is
slow.
it?
It's less than an MB.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So sorry, while we're waiting for the document to download, I wanted to
Okay.
ask, since you just taught us now that dashboard also helps to review things. So we have seen from the data set that all the doctors are not consistent in their treatment. So is there a way we can also project that for management to see it vividly?
Yes. Yes.
Because a particular doctor is using a different treatment for the same kind of disease like that.
Yes.
Can we also
You could
add that
just
to
you could put a side note. You just a place where a chart is. You just put a text box and write any other important insight. That is going to be that the dashboard. It's not everything that you can show through visualization at the end of the day. Okay, so those particular insights that that you've deriving that the dashboard is going to limit you to be able to show. You could just create um, a little text column and just write it out. Okay, this is what I discovered. This is what I discovered. Even about the data set. Okay, the data was, especially if you're showing it to management, I know that management has the ability to be able to fix this thing. So you can do that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. I want us to finish this up as soon as possible. Oh wow. You've retouched your stuff, Ezekiel. This is beautiful. This is not what you submitted now.
Just a little bit.
Is that what?
Just a little bit, sir.
Oh, I can see. So why did you do all this thing before you submitted it?
Well, I was kind of in a hurry, so my brain wasn't quite settled. It was after your comments that it settled a bit.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is good. All right. So, okay. This is not what we came here for. So let's just go straight to the point. So we just dive straight to it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Can you see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay. In a pivot table. I'm reloading the Excel. Can you see my screen now?
No, sir.
What about now?
No.
Not yet, sir.
Can you see it now?
It's coming. Yeah, it's up now.
It's up now.
All right. So let's go straight into it. Just create a new one, okay? So let us go straight at it. So the first question we're answering is total bill, right?
Yes, sir.
It's still 42 million. That was what we got in the last one, right?
Yeah, I believe you cleaned the total because it's not the only column that has the negative.
Let's see.
amount.
Okay, yours is clean. All right. Okay. So rename this total revenue. All right. So now we have this. Control C, Control V. So what's the next KPI I want to call?
Total patient inflow.
How many
Total
KPI we say we have? We have 4, right? So 4. All right. So this will be total visits, right?
Total visits, patient visits.
You can call it patient inflow. Please just feel free to use whatever English that's your organization. I know that there are some organizations that are, want some kind of vocabulary. So counts is not this is number. Okay, so this is total visits. So some organization would not want to see visits, they'll want to see inflow, like you just said. Okay, what's the third one?
Total number of doctors.
Total number of doctors. Okay, so we'll come to doctors.
The visit, I think should be visits. Whatever.
Pivot table doesn't have count distinct. Oh, okay. And this is where we are going to have a problem. There's no count distinct here for this our pivot table. Except what we can do here is, okay, here's what we can do here. I'm not going to use pivot table for this. What is the next one? Let's put a mark on that doctor's name. We'll use count distinct to do that. What is the next pivot? What's the next one I want to use?
Average patient satisfaction rate. Total
Patient
number
satisfaction.
of visits. Okay.
Patient satisfaction.
Right.
Are looking for the average, right? So this is not. Okay, that name was okay. Average patient satisfaction. There was no need to change it. So for the sake of uniformity, we've already started putting this. So let's just let it go across. Okay. Then for this, for the total number of hospitals and total number of doctors, we are not going to use We're not going to use what is it called? We're not going to use pivot table because pivot table doesn't have count extent. So we are going to just write it out. Let's see. So delete this one. We'll also delete this. So for here, we'll call this total hospitals, right? Total facilities. Okay, now the equals to distinct counts. How can't I find distinct counts? This now distinct counts. Count the cells containing the number in the field of the column. No, that is not it. Non-blank cells. No. Or is it from my Excel? I'm supposed to be seeing distinct counts. Okay. I still can't find distinct counts. So let us get another.
I will not try unique.
Okay. Let's see. I was supposed to. Let's go to doctors, right? This is not giving us the number. We don't want, we want it like count it and give us the counts, not the unique values. So this does not work for what we are trying to achieve. Is that good?
Can we try bending it a little bit?
Sorry?
Can we try bending it a little bit using unique?
Okay, we could next count into it, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, count, is it count A? The one that counts only words. It's count A, I believe.
All right. So we'll do the same thing here. Total. Okay, this is total doctors, like number of doctors, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is total facilities. I think it's still the same for. Sometimes it just don't stress your head at the end of the day if you already know what it is. Okay, so I think it's the same thing, just a different range. So let's just copy this. Control C. Control V. And instead of this, go to facilities. Facilities is towards the left, right? Yep. All right. So this is that for our KPIs. So these are the 4 KPIs we'll be having on our dashboard. So what were the things we want to open? We want to see trend by revenue, right? Revenue trend by month. So we'll do this. Control C, Control V. Okay. So we are opening this up by
visit date.
All right. So that's already opened it up for us by visit date. So we are good to go. Let's give this space. Okay. So what else do we want to see? What else do we want to see?
Facility with the highest number
Revenue by visit.
Revenue by what?
By visit.
Revenue by visits. Okay, we want to compare revenue visits by okay, now I get you. Control C, Control V here. Then we want to see revenue. We also want to see visits, right? Then we want to open it up by
facility.
By facility. All right. So we are not confused. Let's give this space. Let's give this space. So now we can open up. All right. So we want to see if revenue and visit is telling us the same story. So let's see. Let's sort this by sort it from largest to smallest. So it's really not telling us the same story because Central Hospital has lesser visits than Life Care, but it's bringing in more money than Life Care. Even Unity Clinic is bringing in more money than Life Care. So there's really no relationship between revenue and visits. But when we visualize that, we may have another answer for that. So what's the next thing? So this should not be. This is a number. All right. So what's the next thing we want to see? Highest diagnosis, right? This one is just going to be a univariate analysis.
Best performing facility by revenue.
Yeah, that's what it's showing here already.
Okay, yeah.
Control V. So want to see the visit that has the highest amount of diagnosis. So this has been opened up. So how many charts? We're going to have 3 charts. Okay, we can one more chart. What else could we look at?
So I thought we wanted to compare the visits, that type of diagnosis by gender.
Okay, type of diagnosis by
Like
gender.
yes. Which gender? I don't know. How we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, diagnosis by gender.
This is what we were looking at, gender. But I remember I also said that we should keep our stuff to univariates. Okay, but if in case you want to answer the question, this is how you can answer the question. So this is diagnosis, this is gender. So from here we can now see that females. Okay, let's see. Looking at this number, what insights can we see here? Someone should.
The females have the highest visits.
Females have the highest visit, yes.
Yes.
Okay, but
and females are more diabetic, and they also have hypertension too than males.
Okay, so it is safe to say that across all diseases except typhoid, females are more susceptible.
Yes.
Yes. So that is That's just what we can that's what we can take home from here. Across all disease except typhoid, females are more susceptible. Okay, so this is something you could put on the down notes. Okay, but we just want to stick to univariate analysis. Okay, who asks that thing about putting? So this is something you can put in the down note that okay, after looking at it and seeing that malaria is the most performing, is the disease that is the most diagnosed disease across visits. It is also worthy to note that females are more susceptible to all diseases except typhoid. Could just put a little text block and just write it out there. Okay. Especially if you are presenting to doctors so that doctors could know. Or maybe you are presenting to depending on who you are presenting to at the end of the day. So what else?
Sir,
Let us make it 4. One more.
And also, is there a profit column on the data set? If there is, then we can check the profit itself, not just the revenue.
Okay, let's see. Did you engineer profits, Ezekiel?
No, sir.
Okay, there is no profit here. All right. So let's look at one more thing now. What else could we look at?
So can we look at revenue by payment method, whether it's cash or transfer?
Count by payment method. Let's just look at payment method by accounts. Okay. So we could just do it here. Or we could just put it under here too. Let's put it under here. Control C. Control V. So let's see the visits that use the most payment method. So now that we've done this, okay, we're almost there, right? So what's the next thing we need to do? What's the next thing we need to do? Let's be quick. We have less than 30. We have just 30 minutes or so to go. And we've not even started the dashboard. All right, let's go. What is the next thing we need to do?
That's about it for what we wrote down.
Good. We've answered all the questions now. Okay.
Yeah.
We've answered the questions that we need. We know our audience. So now it's now for us to start bringing in the visualization. Okay. We've answered the question now, but this is not how we are going to show it to our audience now. So we have to bring in the charts that is going to help us, represent this thing to our audience so that we can put all the charts inside one page, which gives us the dashboard, right? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Good. So let's start bringing in, let's bring in the charts. So we insert pivot charts. So what's the best visualization for this kind of analysis? I want to look at it over time. I want to look at our revenue performance over time. What is the best?
Line graph.
Line, beautiful. Good. So have you seen the story that Line is telling us that if we start looking at this in one by one, we wouldn't have been able to see it. Immediately looking at this, you can see that our best performing month is what? There was a peak in June, right?
July.
Can we see that? Hello? Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But it's July.
Oh, sorry, July. All right, it's good. You guys are detail oriented. That's beautiful. All right, so let's remove field. Sorry, we'll hide all buttons on charts. Okay, we'll take this out. We'll make this bold. We'll take this out. We'll take this out. Okay. change the name. Revenue trend by months. All right. So what is missing here? Data labels, right? Now look at this now. Does this make sense?
No.
Good. This doesn't make sense. Okay. So in scenarios like this, it is safe because at the end of the day, okay, I know there are rules, but at the end of the day, the rule is to make sure that your visualization is legible. Someone can see it and understand it. So if I put something like this now, it's going to be difficult for me to spot which is which. Okay. So in this case, I would rather turn this off and turn this on. Okay. For context, right? So I could even turn this grid line on too. Okay. Just for this and for this. You know why? Because there are a lot of data points. And if I bring in all these data points, it's going to cause a whole lot of confusion. Does it make sense? Does this make sense?
Yes, it does.
Hello. Good. So another thing I could do is instead of showing this by month, I could now decide to show this by quarter so that it has fewer data points if I really want to show my data labels. But for this particular one, it is not ideal for you to maintain your data labels because it's going to make the whole thing to be very, very ineligible, illegible, right? Good. So we are done with this. So we keep it somewhere. Keep it around here, right? We'll just close it down. We'll just reduce it. Okay. I just keep this here. Then what's the next one? So this particular one, what do we use for this? What do we use for this?
A column chart would be okay.
Use column charts. This is how it looks like.
Jesus.
It doesn't make sense because this part there's a very big what do they call it? There's a very big difference between the visit count and the total revenue. Okay, the total visits and we need to rename that. There's a very big difference between the total visits and the total revenue. So let's see. Okay, we could use a combined chart here. We could use combined charts. Let's see. If we use bar, this would have made sense, okay, if they were on par, okay. Maybe I'm comparing maybe total revenue as against male and female. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, sir.
If you're comparing total revenue as against male and female, okay, this is where this would have made sense. But if you bring this in, let's see how it looks like. The total revenue dwarfs the visits. So
because
this visit can't be seen.
Yeah, it can't be seen because the numbers are really
yes. Yes. The number is so small. So using this particular visualization for this particular analysis or for this particular question defies the whole purpose because someone is not going to see the count of visit ID. But let us bring in our data label. Let's see if that makes life a little bit more easier. Okay, we could work with this. We could work with
Okay.
this. Yes, because the data label has saved the day. So with the data label, since even though the bar is not showing, you could easily tell that okay, there's a data point here, just that we are not seeing it, but it's 296, and this is 290, and this is 311. Okay, we could work with this. So since this is this, we'll take this out. We'll take this out. We'll remove this. All right. We'll bold this. Can increase the fonts so that people can see that. All right. So we're also done with this now, right? All right. So the next one, see, this is why univariate analysis are best. Okay. Where you really enjoy to do multivariate analysis is when you start working with Power BI, because the visuals there are much more easier to manipulate and much more easier to work with. So for this we'll just use, what do we use here? Let's use this. Okay. So use this. Take this out. Take this out. Go this. Take this out. Am I alone in this class?
No, sir.
Not
All
at
right.
all, sir.
So we'll bold this. All right. Oh, take this out. Okay. This is what we should bold. So when someone sees it, the person can immediately tell us what it is. So the title of this chart is what?
Counts of diagnosis or diagnosis?
Yeah. Performance of total visits by diagnosis.
Okay, yes.
Yes, total visits by diagnosis. Okay, so we are done with this. So this is where you can do more formatting. Those that are good with formatting, here you can format it to the way you love it to be, the color, the all that. Let's keep this somewhere. Then the last one, let's be quick with this. So what pivot chart do we use here? Let's see. Pie charts would have made sense here, but they are almost all evenly distributed. But we could still use it. But it doesn't really make sense when they are all almost evenly distributed. Okay.
What if we do the data label just like the rest of them? Will it
Yes,
be
we are
okay?
using it. We are using it anyways, but it's not really ideal. I'm just letting people know that, like, ideally, or in case maybe I asked somewhere, it's not like there's nothing wrong with using it, okay? But so that you speak like people who understand visualization, it's not really ideal to what is it called? It's not really ideal to use it when it's just 33, 33, 35. It should show a bigger proportion, or a smaller proportion of one. So total visits by payment method. So now we are done with all our visualizations, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, we are done here. So the next thing we want to bring into the table is our slicer, right? So
Yes, sir.
we are going to be bringing in two slicers. We are going to slice by we'll slice by gender, since there's really nothing here that is bringing out gender. Okay, please, when you are slicing, now that I already have something that is showing me things by cash payment, it doesn't make sense now for me to start slicing by what is it called? By
Payment.
by payment method. Okay. So if you have something that is already on, if you have something that is already represented in charts, doesn't make sense for you to slice it. Okay. So here I'm going to slice by gender. I'm also going to slice by, let's bring in another slicer. Bring in another slicer. We slice by insured. Okay, so we, at that point we can be able to see those who are insured or not, right? Insurance status. There are so many things you could slice by. So understanding the business is going to help you determine what you want to insure it by, right? So here
Yes,
now
sir.
we are going to manage our reports. So make sure that it's reporting to everything. We know why we need to do this, right? I've had a lot
Yes.
of people to want us to be done with this today. Oh, this is like the hard part anyways. So good. So we'll do same for this. All right. So our slicers and our visuals, we have them sorted out. So then we'll now create, so we'll call this, let's just call this P, that you know this is your pivot table, and you create a new sheet. All right, so call this the dashboard. Okay, so this dashboard is solely based on how you want it to look. Okay, what are the colors that your organizations fancy? Is there any kind of design that the organization fancy? This is what we are designing it for. Send it in there. So this is where you now do your research, like Vera said. You research your colors, you research your the design you want to do. You can tell ChatGPT to give you a design that makes sense if you're not good with design like myself. Okay, so but we'll just go with this. So the first thing we are going to do is we'll come to view. Okay, we'll take out this grid line. So we'll take out this green line. We're not seeing this plain Excel. Sorry, we need our formula bar, please. We'll take out this grid line. So you can see this grid line now. So this is where you can turn it off, in case you didn't know that. So come to home. So remember, we said our dashboard will have like, we just want to have four visualizations and 5 KPIs and 2 slicers. So you just have to figure out how you want it to appear in your head. So now I'm just going to show you the basics what you really need to do. Then when I show you what you need to do, I want to see beautiful dashboards. Okay, so we'll start with inserting shapes. So this shape is going to serve as the header of our dashboard. Okay, so keep it here. We can change the color to green since it's a health related stuff. This is fine, right? So we'll reduce this a little bit. So now that we've done this, then we'll insert a text box. Okay, insert a text box here. So this text box, we're going to call it insurance performance dashboard. Okay, so first of all, we don't want this one to have, we don't want it to have any background color. So come to this shape format. We don't want it to have any this text, or rather, we don't want it to have any background color. So it is now, the color is now matching the color of that, of the shape, right? Then what color is this? Okay, we can leave it to be black, or you can change it to white, depending. You could change the text colors to white. You can change this to Times Roman. So this is basically formatting. So let's use Times Roman. Okay. Then we can now increase the size. Let's keep it like this. Okay. Good. Now we have to take out all right. We'll remove the outline. We don't want it to have any outline. Who does not understand how we got to this point? Because almost every other thing now is just copy and paste, copy and paste. Who doesn't understand how we got to this point? Is there anyone that
How
doesn't
did
understand?
you remove the line?
You just come to view. This is just come to view here. So this is where you put on your green line. This is where you put it off. You can leave it on, no? You get, it's not, there's nothing that says that it has to be on. Okay, it has to be off. So however you know that the design is going to be good for you, please go ahead. All right, any other person has a question, please. You have just 15 minutes to finish this up. Yeah, bolding it. Yeah, who said I should bolding in Avera? I know. I know. All right, so let's bolden it. It's going to make much more sense. So who doesn't know how we got to this point, please? That's very, very important. All right, so this is looking fine. Now, another thing you can do is if you have a picture of your company or a logo or whatever, let me just show you an example. If you want to insert something, you have a picture of something you want to insert, okay, you just find this, you come to this illustration. If you have a picture, a logo, if you have an icon, if you have a shape, anything at all you want to insert, you just click on it so that for the sake of time, we're going to leave that. But feel free to insert anything you want to insert. Maybe if it's a hospital, you can put the hospital logo somewhere around here or anything, okay? So now that we've gotten this, we'll now do this, hold Control and hold this, right? All right. Then this now, we'll do Control C, Control V. We'll bring this in. Then this is now where we are going to bring in our KPIs. We'll just use the same color. How many KPIs do we have?
About 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So Control C, Control V. All right. Control V, Control V. So let's just have a shape how we want it to look like before I start bringing it in. So like I said, it's not difficult, okay? It's just not difficult. Please always make sure that it's aligning. Very important is aligning. Those who are good with formatting, this is where you're going to shine. Okay. Make sure it aligns. Let's know it's time Control C, Control V. Should be. This is very, very, very important. Okay. Now, good. Now the next thing we are bringing in 5 charts, right? So since we are bringing in 5 charts, 4 charts rather, right? So Control
Yes, sir.
C, Control V. The first chart, we want our line chart to be somewhere here. Okay, it's going to be it's going to take center stage because we want people to see it immediately. Whenever I have a line chart, please always keep it down. Let it not be hidden. Keep it in a place where someone can easily see. Okay. So keep this here. Then Control C, Control V. We'll bring the next one. So we could drop this here. Okay. There's a little bit of jaga here. It's because I'm beating time, trying to beat time, but you guys should just get the whole idea of it. Okay. If there's any idea you're missing, if there's something you don't know how you are supposed to bring it out, please call my attention. If there's anything I've done that you've missed, okay, you know what? For the sake of this, we'll just let's stick to 3 charts. Okay. So this is why it's important for you to have done your research before you start your dashboard. You already have an idea of what you want your dashboard to look like. So that you don't come, you already know where you want everything to be and how you want it to be arranged. Okay. So the whole idea of this is that everything is in one page. Good. So Control V. All right. So this is our title. This is our what is it called? This is our what do we call this? This will be our KPIs. Good. While this is our line charts, and this will be two charts that we're going to bring in. Okay. So let's not deal with our KPIs. So for our KPIs, we are going to insert a text, insert a text box. Okay. We'll draw the text box. So this text box is going to carry total revenue. Okay. So remember, we don't want it to have any fill color. We don't want it to have any fill color. We want it to be white. We want it to be white. We want it to be bold. What else do we want? I think that's it for this. Let's increase it a little bit so that people could easily see. I think that's too big. This is fair. So this is just basically you know, picking it, making it the way you want it to look, the way you want it to appear, you know. Okay, we don't want the We don't want this to show. We don't want the outline to show, so no outline. Vera and Helen will be smiling wherever they are now. So now we are now going to call in the total revenue, okay? So how do we call it in? We'll do this thing we did, we'll call it, we'll do Control C, Control V, okay? We'll keep it down because we want the value to show here, right? Then we take this out. Then we'll now say equals to, okay? Because we want to call it from the cell where it is, from that place we did our analysis. That is where we want to call it from, okay? It is easy to just write it 42 million, but if you don't write it, you are not going to get the, when you are not slicing, it's not going to be able to slice properly, okay? So the essence of calling it is so that you can slice it properly, right? So you call it from here. You select here, okay? Then you now come to this formula bar and write equals to. Make sure it is selected, okay? When you now write equals to, you now look for it. You come here. Where is it? This is our total revenue. So now say enter. So can you see now our total revenue is here now, right? So we increase the fonts. Increase the fonts. Increase the fonts. Increase the font to, okay, 20 is fine. Say okay. Then you bold it. You can leave it to be black since it's calling numbers. You can decide to leave it to be white, you know, just anything that appeals to your eyes and you know that okay, that it makes sense when you look at it. Okay, now that we've done that, we'll just do the same thing. We'll do Control C. We'll do Control C, Control V. Are you guys following?
Yes, sir.
Is anybody confused? Control V. So just do it all here. Control V. Please use your colors. Use colors that make sense. I'm just running against time here. Okay. Should run this up in 5 minutes, but we'll have to steal some of their time because we will finish this today. So the same thing here. We'll just do it. Control C, Control V. We'll put this here. Control V. We'll put this here. Can you see that it's not difficult? Control V, dashboard, dashboard, dashboard. This is it. It's not so difficult. Control V. If you are very good with design, you will really love this. Okay. So now that we've done this, so what's the next thing we're supposed to call? What's the next KPI? Total visits, right? So we'll change this total revenue to total visits. Total visits. So this total visits, we are going to call. So we are going to call on the actual total visits. Is anybody confused? This used to confuse me. So if you are confused, please let me know. I used to be very, very confused here. How you call it. Please don't make the mistake of wanting to call it inside the text box. So whenever you want to call it from the formula bar. Okay? Call it from the formula bar, not from the text box. All right. What's the next one? What's the next one? That was the next one. Let's do that. Average patient satisfaction. So average patient satisfaction.
Well, can we call it just average satisfaction?
Average satisfaction. That's also beautiful. Average satisfaction. All this thing is dependent on if your board is okay with it. Okay, the people you are presenting to, do they understand what average satisfaction is? Okay. There are places you go, you just know that you just have to spell it out.
That one is page 4.
Yes, is it 3? Okay.
So take this out. So come here, average satisfaction. This is it. Click on it. That's all. So just same thing here. Average satisfaction. And the next one is what? Total number of doctors, right? Number of doctors. Number of doctors. Okay. And this one, we could just write what it is. It's 4. Okay. And it's 4 all through. Okay. But just still for the sake of it, for the sake of learning, we call it. Okay. Centralize this. What's this one? Total what? Total facilities, right? Am I the only one here?
No, you're not. It's
All
total.
right. Good. So this is the difficult part. Every other thing now is easy. So select this. You can enter. So we do this. Paint this here. Good. So you see that our stuff is taking shape. It's looking ugly, but the idea of it is what I want people to understand here. Okay? Are we together?
Yes,
When
sir.
you are doing your own, you do something that is much more beautiful. Okay? Mix your colors very well, mix your designs very well. So we start bringing in our visuals, right? So let's bring this in. Ctrl C. Ctrl C. Come here. Can paste it here. Ctrl V. Right. So we come this here. Let's see this format. We don't want any color. We don't want any hue. Okay. If you feel you can blend the colors very well, please go ahead. Okay. This is not. There is no So can we see this now? So I see that this is not legible enough. So we come here, we bold this, increase it much more so that someone can actually see. That's because context is actually very, very important. So can we see now? Ojuku. All right. So you can go ahead to format this, make this to be more legible, make this to be more legible. So let's bring in let's bring this in. So whenever you have a trend, please, the trend is the star of the show. Always make sure that the trend has enough space. You can squeeze every other thing, but please do not squeeze the trend, please. Okay, make sure this trend has enough space because that's one of the things everybody's eyes will be going to. So that's why you see I gave it this much space. Okay. Okay, now that we have enough space, let's see if we can even introduce our data and see how it looks. Our data labels. Let's see how it looks. Shape outline. We don't want any outline. Okay. Okay, can you see now that we'll spread it out now? You can actually bring this in, right? Am I alone here? Hello?
We are with you, sir.
Okay, it's not as if I'm the only person here. Can you see now that it makes much more sense to bring in the data labels here? Can you see that? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we can see that this is bolden this, okay? Bolden this. Bolden this, increase it to 14. So can we see that now? So the next one, we'll bring one last one. We'll bring this. So you can just control exit. I don't even know why I'm control seeing it. Control exit so that it lives there. You come here, control V. The same thing. Take off the outline. Don't want this. I don't want the fill. I don't want the outline. Like I said again, let me still say it again. Don't say this is what Dozier said that you must take it out. If you know that there's a way you can blend this design and still leave your outline, please, by all means, do. Okay. What I'm showing you is not the only. If you go to YouTube, you see that there are multiple ways to do this dashboard. Okay, there are multiple ways. Okay, this is just me giving you the foundation of it, so you understand what you are actually doing. You understand the arrangement. You understand what should be where and how to put it. Okay, which is important. Which is the kind of charts to prioritize. Remember the number one chart you should prioritize are your trend charts. Make sure that your trend charts are legible. Make sure that you can see it because that is the chart that everybody wants to see. Is this legible enough?
We can increase it a little bit more.
All right.
Probably to like 18.
Let's make it 20.
Okay, that's really visible.
So this is good now. Okay, there was something I forgot to do here. This is total about diagnosis. So we sort this. Let's keep this somewhere. We sort this very well so that it's properly arranged. Sort from largest to smallest. Good. So it should reflect now. Okay. Now let's sort this from smallest to largest. All right. So this makes much more sense. So can you see now this is just like, please don't do this in I did here. Don't do what I did here. If I say I need something more beautiful, please. Okay. You understand the idea now, right? So please go into the world and do something very beautiful. Something very, very beautiful. Okay. Then the next thing you now introduce okay, for the sake of my slicer, because your slicer has to be there, just give it a little bit stretching here. So we could just put our slicers here. Okay. Control X. Bring it here. Just drop the slider here, Control V. So come here, give your slider the same coloring. Okay. Bring the second slicer. Give it the color that we want. Just put your slicer here. So if you have more than 2 slicers, just stack them up around here. Okay, so you just have the whole idea. What I'm just showing you is that dashboard is just an idea. Okay, your KPIs should be somewhere. They should all be somewhere together. Some people can decide to put their KPIs here. Okay, your chart should be in the center. If you have a trend, ensure that that trend is what is it called? Ensure that that trend has enough space. Okay, you can squeeze any other chart, but please don't squeeze your trend chart for me, please. I don't want to see any trend chart squeezed. Okay. So this is basically what a dashboard is. To me, this is not fine. I believe people do something sweet. I can't wait to see the beautiful dashboard you are going to produce. But if you still produce this is also not bad. I mean, I won't score myself so bad for something I did in less than 20 to 30, yeah, less than 20 minutes for, this cooking up we cooked here. So who has a question, please? Hello.
I wanted to ask one question though.
Okay.
As regards the chat, is it possible for a chat to have 2 y-axes?
2 y-axes?
Yes, sir.
I don't know the possibility of that. There could be two, what is it called? It can have two categories, it can have 2 variables in the y-axis, but it cannot have 2 y-axes.
Okay.
Let me show you what I mean now. Okay. You can have 2 categories in the y-axis, like this one now, like this is a chart now. Okay. Let me see. Okay, something like this now, this particular one now. Let's go to insert now. Pivot charts, line charts. So can you see now? It has 2. This is count of revenue. They are both in the y-axis. So these are 2 variables in the y-axis, but it just has one y-axis. Let me bring this up so you see. So these are the 2 variables in the y-axis. This total revenue and count of visits, right?
Yes, sir.
But can you see that it's just one y-axis, but there are 2 variables here. So you can have multiple variables inside one y-axis, but you cannot have more than one y-axis. I mean, plotting a graph is just one x or one y, right? One positive x, one positive y, one negative x, one negative y, if my math still serves me right.
Okay, sir.
All right. Is that good? So make sure the key thing here is, let your dashboard have these key things: the title, your KPIs, your charts, your slicers. Make sure that whatever you do, let there be uniformity. Okay, let there be uniformity, and just basic. Vera, you have a question. This is your zone now.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, I know you dropped the task, but I just want to find out what exactly we'll be presenting. Is it like the whole process, or
Yes.
just
Yes. The whole process. You tell us the whole process. This is the data set that I got from from my time at KodeCamp, and it was a dirty logistics data set which I had to clean. While cleaning, I discovered that there were empty, which I did this to the empty. So I discovered that there were outliers, which I did this to the outliers. I also was able to engineer so column and so column, which was very important for the business, for business insights for this particular data set. You get? So after going through all that, this is the dashboard that I was able to pull up. And from the dashboard, you can see that this is total revenue, this is total visit, this is averages, blah, 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 just walk us through your step. Just
Yes,
what I
sir.
gave here, not gonna say it too. Presentation is 50 marks. Then your cleaning and visualization and every other thing is 50 marks. So there's a very huge mark. That's to tell that I'm much more concerned about how you present it. And think the dashboard itself is 30. Your cleaning and other things is just like your numbers being the actual number. That is, your cleaning is going to determine if your total revenue is what it actually is. This particular one, I'm actually going to do the analysis myself. Okay, this particular one, I'm actually going to do the analysis myself and be sure that people are giving me the right numbers for the KPIs. Okay, so make sure you clean very well. The data will be very dirty, or maybe not so dirty. I think we are done. We are done. Let me stop sharing so we can discuss any other thing that may be necessary. Is there anybody that has any question before I stop sharing? Does anybody have any question before I stop sharing? All right. Now, let me stop recording.